Hey everybody, this is Kim Jacobs from the Kim Jacobs Show, and I have Miss Christine Kasich, Dr. Christine Kasich over there. How are you?
Good.
Good, good. Okay, so we're friends, so I can totally relax and just have a good time with you
Yeah.
today on today's episode. I want everyone to come into the studio. Go ahead and share with your friends, your coworkers, or anybody you know that currently follow you on your social media pages. Share today's broadcast. We're going to be talking about how every girl can win. Every girl.
Mm-hmm.
Every girl can win. And that's what today's topic is about, and how Dr. Christine is going to be sharing with you some key information that we can share with families around the country. Dr. Kozachuk, I'm going to call you Christine. Because
We've known each other. We've known each other way before the doctor part. So,
so make sure you also, if you have a different device, go ahead and share it with your friends and family too. Right now from the Facebook Live page, you'll be able to share it over. Okay. All right. So let's.
And I just did. So I just shared it on my page.
Oh, girl, what am I talking about? You already know what you're doing over there. Let's rock and roll with today's episode. My music is getting ready to come on.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Whew, okay, everybody, welcome to today's episode. We're talking about every girl winning. And today, my special guest is Dr. Christine Kasich. This woman is internationally acclaimed. I don't even have to read a bio because I've followed her and worked with her along this journey called life. And everything she touches turns to gold. That's what I'll say. That's about the best introduction I can give about her, is that she is a woman of integrity, excitement, enthusiasm, and she goes to great extremes to help everyone. And so Dr. Christine Kozachuk, she is a mother, she is a wife. Are you a grandmother now too, or no?
Oh goodness, I'm a grandmother of 5 and 1 on the way in November. So
I thought I saw some grandchildren on some stuff too. So it would really look way too young to be somebody's grandma, but okay, she's a grandmother over there as well. And so it's my honor and privilege to have you here. You're an author, an entrepreneur, a business owner, lots of different things, and we'll deep dive into that in today's episode. Welcome, Christine.
Thank you so much, Kim, for having me. And like I said, we've known each other for goodness. I was actually talking to one of our associates, friends, the other day, and I've known you since 2007, and that's when you were pregnant with your daughter.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just recently moving to Charlotte at the time. We moved here. I think it was like in 2000, end of 2004, beginning of 2005, and I met you shortly thereafter with eWomen Network. So it's important, everybody, to be open to networking, because Lori Dvorak is a young lady that I met at the Postal Service just in passing, and because we spoke to each other, and she was like, it's just something about you, people don't embrace people anymore today.
No. And we were talking about that the other day, and that's who I spoken to, is Lori, and we were talking about how you two met. You at the United States Post Office, UPS, and you're like, you're a woman I need to know.
And that's exactly how it kicked off. And from that happening, I was able to meet so many professional business women through eWomen Network. I've heard you all present and just share your life stories, and not just from a personal perspective, but also from a business, and how we can grow our different businesses. And that changed my life, just in being able to have that encounter with you all, because that's how my talk show came about.
Yes, you were doing it at the OPTL.
Right.
As when I first met you, the Kim Jacobs show. Was it Kim Jacobs show then?
It was Daily Balance with Kim.
That's right.
It was because, and we had those quick networking rounds, and in 1 minute or less, we had to share what our dream or our goal was, and then from there, people really said, oh, I can help you. I can help you. I can help you. So it was this whole eagerness for everyone to jump in and say what we could do to help each other. And it wasn't about us. It was about how we would write down on a notepad, how we could help the other person that was sharing their dream. And I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, and that's the great part about networking, especially the perfect networking organization that you find. It's
Right.
lifting as you climb. Because for me, lifting as you climb gives me more satisfaction than me climbing myself.
I'm big on that. Just like, who
Mhm.
can I help along this journey?
Yeah,
So it's not that now here I am sitting at the top, but nobody else made it. And
yeah, because you
that
know
defeats
what?
no purpose.
You know what? Those people that say that it's lonely at the top, you know why it's lonely at the top? Because they didn't bring anybody with them.
That's the right. I agree. So already, guys, listen, we dropping knowledge. Okay. So you have some takeaways right from the very beginning
Yes.
of today's episode, which is, networking is important.
Mhm.
Network with other people.
Yes.
Make sure that you bring somebody else to the top with you, so it's not lonely at the top.
Mhm. Yes.
And
Yes.
how do you recommend people do that? How do you recommend that people bring people along this journey, especially focusing on girls, since you're talking a lot
Yeah.
about every girl?
Bringing people with your journey is, you have to be a server, first of all. And that's what I totally recommend to everyone. Be a server because God has plans for everyone, not just you. They have plans for other people that are in your life, and they're put in your life for a reason to actually bring them with you as you're serving them to lift them as you're climbing the ladder. For me,
That's right.
for me, it's as I'm lifting others, like I said, it's the satisfaction of that. But it's through mentoring, through going to networking organizations, reputable. I'm gonna put reputable networking organizations, and just because people with networking, people do business with people they trust and like.
That's
So
right.
you don't go in to a networking organization of stating just giving the business card. We build relationships like you and I. We've had a relationships building that since 2007.
That's right.
We're great friends now, and I can pick up the phone, and it's so many of them that I can just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I need this." Or you pick up there, I need this, and you're giving me 5-10 contacts that I can do that I need to build whatever I'm building right now.
That is so important. So I'm going to put that networking is critical
Yes.
to your success, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that is one of the life literacy elements that's in Every Girl Wins Institute that I show is through collaboration, because you have to collaborate with one another and you can't do it alone. Now, I always say it's kind of like this. It's people looking and they say, "You're definitely country when you describe it like this." It's kind of like having a pie, and you have one person over here that has one pie, and you have 4 people over here having another pie, and it's a pie eating contest.
Right.
Who's going to eat that pie faster?
Okay.
So, and you're going to exceed faster in business and life when you collaborate with other people, other than trying to do it alone, because you can't do it alone. You have got to have other people in your life, and you also can't be selfish. You cannot be the one that's the taker. You've also got to be a giver. You've got to be a giver at all times. If you take, you give. You take, you give.
Right. Well, I actually enjoy giving to people, but then I also enjoy gathering from people so that I can be able to share with others. And
Right.
so, like, actually today is a good example. I was listening to Lisa Nichols earlier before the show, and I just love her inspiration and encouragement. And she talked about, the tribe and her putting together like conversations that we can all benefit from. And one of the things that she shared is pressing that reset button. And if you make mistakes in life, if you have situations where you're like, I didn't quite do that right, press reset. Press reset. I love the advice she was giving, because sometimes we're so hard on ourselves, but then we don't say, okay, let me just press reset and give myself an opportunity to not necessarily have a do-over, because some things in the past you can't go back and do over, but you know what that pitfall was, so you can go forward. And you see that roadblock again, you're like, ha, I already know the solution. I'm not going to fall prey to that again.
Exactly. It's kind of like God giving you like that second chance to reset, because what I totally believe is that until you get it right, God's not going to open that door, or that he's not going to move that obstacle for you to get to the another lesson in life.
That's right. Right. It's a test. And it's like, oh,
Yes,
you keep
yes,
getting that same
yes,
exam. I know
yes.
with my children with homeschooling that they get the exam and then they get a certain grade and they're able to sometimes like do a retest. But
Mhm.
now it's a whole different, it's a different exam. But the point is you're not going to get to the next level until you eventually pass the test.
Exactly.
So we have to be able to pass different tests in life
Mhm.
in order for us to get to the final exam. What's
Yeah,
the next thing you got for me, God? You know?
absolutely, absolutely. I totally believe in that. Totally.
And I actually too believe, Christine, that it's important. Well, this was something I was listening to today too. Is Lisa was saying how important it is to be resilient and
Mhm.
not give up, and no matter how many times it takes, even if it's thousands and thousands and thousands. But she was talking about, and I talk about this often as well in some of my teachings, and so do you, is
Mhm.
that what we focus on grows, and we know that.
Oh yes.
So why is it important to focus on ourselves on positive things that uplift us and edify us?
Oh my goodness. To focus on things like that, because we have got to get out of that mindset that a lot of us women are in, is that negative mindset,
Mhm.
and we're hard on ourselves. So we've got to be more positive
Mhm.
with ourselves in order to be positive with other people. Because have you ever been around someone that's just really having a bad day and they can't
Right.
get out of it, and then you start feeling that way?
Yeah, you
Well,
feel weighted down too. So
yes, yes. But if that positivity is constantly going, and you're positively, yourself, and positively with other people, if the total mindset, even in a meeting itself.
that's right. I
Yeah,
agree. And,
yeah,
and the positivity rubs off. But then there are some people that you have to have an outlet to be able to just really be your authentic self.
yes. Hmm.
Okay, I'm having a moment, but I don't want my moment to last forever. And I don't want you to help me wallow in my moment per se. But I need you to help me just by being a listening ear and let me hurry up and get through this so I can get to the other side of the mountain, you know?
Yes, and it's kind of funny you're talking about listening, because I was talking to a friend about that the other day on another show, with the listening. Is That's one thing that we forget to do, is like listen, like not just listen with our ears, but we forget to listen with our hearts too.
That's right.
And so many people are so busy, they think they're listening, but they're listening to want to say something to interrupt, which has
Right.
nothing to do with actually listening to someone.
Hmm. I
Yes,
agree.
yeah, but that listening part that's very crucial, very
Right.
crucial.
That's why on the show here, I need people that help backstage because, like, I'm listening, but then I'm also trying to type and
Yeah.
type the points that you're making. And it's like, I can't really hear the person that well when I'm trying to type the point. And so that's asking for help, and
Mhm.
getting help is also important as well.
Yes.
Anytime you're trying to wear multiple hats, because you
Hmm.
can't wear every hat
No,
effectively.
you
So it's
can't.
like, okay, this is the hat I can wear. I love on people. I love interviewing people. I can do some virtual hugging. I
Uh-huh.
can, talk to you, get in there and like lean in and we have a good discussion. But then it's like all this technical stuff is it's like, wait a minute. I need help. I had my son come and I said, wait a minute, where's that microphone thing that you told me about? And he had to come and you heard him back here running
Yeah,
and
I
playing in.
did. But it's delegating. It's delegating and not feeling guilty about delegating, because that just kind of brings me back to that. Is when I was growing up, women was told, you can do it all, you can do this, you can do this. But now I've taught my daughter it's okay to delegate. You can't do it all.
That's right.
Where I was, the race, what women can do it all, but delegating is very important, because it's very important for your self-care.
That's right.
Yeah,
I agree.
yes,
I
definitely.
notice the more I delegate, the more whoosh
Yeah, the better
moments
you
I
feel
can have.
about it.
And guess what? People do a great job. So
Yeah.
it's not like you have to do. I used to be of the school of thought
Uh-huh.
that if I don't do it, then it's not going to be done to my
Mhm.
satisfaction. So I
Mhm.
am not going to be pleased with the outcome. That's not true.
Yeah.
People do things significantly better than I would do it, but I just have to loosen the reins and say, hey, go do it your way. If I
Yeah.
don't like something, I'll ask for a modification or edit,
Mhm.
but let me just let this go because I need help.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I used to be that way too. If I didn't do it, it wasn't done right. But now I'm like, and sometimes I kind of think that goes with age too.
Right.
I really think that goes with age. Like, here, do it. Absolutely. Yes.
Well, people don't know your whole background and everything. I'm actually going to pull something up right quick. I will tell you guys that throughout this broadcast, I'll put a link in here for you to be able to, because I can't do it right now because it's going to be off the screen and you won't, and there you go, right? So I will put a link in here to another interview that I did with Dr. Christine Kasich, and we were in the physical studio, and she shared her backstory. So that will give you very good insight as to why she's so driven and passionate about what she does at this phase of her life. Now, I'm not going to allow her to share that part of her story right this second because she's already shared it. And I'm going to put that link in there for you to go and watch it and subscribe. You guys go, hey, are you doing that? Are you subscribing to the Kim Jacobs Show? I'm giving you all of the information. You can follow social media. You can actually subscribe by going to my YouTube channel, and do that today, if you will. Just take a moment. Say, you know what? I know Kim asks this every single day that she's on the show for somebody to subscribe. What does it take? It takes a few moments. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell to all when we go live with people like Dr. Christine Kasich. Guess what? You get notified that we are live. And make sure you go and like and follow us on all of our social media pages as well. We appreciate you all being in the studio audience. Let's see some of the members that stopped by today. Caroline says, hello, Jacob and Dr. Christine Kasich. How lovely to connect.
Carolyn is from London. Love you, Carolyn.
Oh my God, girl, you're taking me around the globe. Yay.
Yes, she's originally from Kenya, Africa, but right now she lives in London. London. And if you don't know about the NGO Whisperer, check it out.
Okay, guys, make sure you go and check out the NGO Whisperer and learn more about, is it Caroline? Caroline, I love it. I love it. Thank you for being in the studio audience today, Caroline. So let's talk about Every Girl Wins financial. I said financial, but just life literacy for every young girl. Talk to us about that, Dr. Kozachuk.
Yes. So I'm not going to tell my story. So you're going to have to check my story.
Oh, I gotta go find that
on YouTube.
I'm gonna put you up on the screen by yourself for a minute while I go and get that clip and put it in. Okay, because you know how to hold the audience, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna remove myself. That's a good thing when I have a girlfriend on and she's like, "Girl, go on backstage. I got this.
I've got this."
Okay. No. Wait a minute. Something sounds muffled. When I leave, I can't hear you as clear.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes. So keep it going now. I'm going to move myself and you go.
Check my YouTube channel out. It's still not.
Go ahead. I'm going to stay on. You go ahead and start. Yeah. I'm just going to stay on. Talking.
On after. But it is, Every Girl Wins Institute is based on my life, the things that I've learned through my life. And can I just give them a little hint that I had my first child at 14? So that's
you can tell as much of your story as you want, because you won't obviously go in as much detail as you did.
I won't. Okay, then I'll
so definitely take them on as much of the journey as you want during this episode as well.
Okay, great. Okay, so the Every Girl Wins Institute is actually based on my life story. And my life story, how that started, was I became pregnant at 13. I had my first son at 14, became married at 14. I had 2 more children with him by the time I was 18 years old. And in between that time, I was abused physically and mentally every single day, every day. And through that time, I had no education. My highest grade of education at that time was 7th grade. I lived in poverty. And when I left him, I left with no clothes on our backs. I left with 3 children on my hip, no education, no no transportation, and we didn't know where I was going to go. But what I did do is I created an amazing life for ourselves. And that's how I came up with the Every Girl Wins Institute, which is based on my life, which is life skill, the life literacy program. Now, the life literacy program is 5 elements. You're going to identify, you're going to understand, you're going to interpret it, you're going to collaborate, and you're going to communicate with it. So those are the 5 elements that I learned in my life.
Say that again. What are they? One more time.
Identify, understand.
Wait a minute. Element number 1 is identify.
Identify.
Okay.
Understand.
Understand. I'm typing what you're saying.
Okay. Interpret. Interpret.
Interpret.
Yes. Communicate.
Communicate. Okay.
And collaborate.
Collaborate.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was number 5.
Yeah, those are the 5 elements of the life literacy program that I put together, that I learned through my lifetime, of how to create your dream. Because what I know with a lot of young ladies and women, and 95% of my clients is women, is they don't identify, just like you put there. They don't understand, because what they don't understand is they have limiting beliefs that set in their life, like I was when I became pregnant, of people telling me that I would be nobody, that I would amount to nothing, that I would, do nothing with my life. So those are things, and there's some people who will say, well, I don't have the money. Well, we all don't have, most of us don't have money, but if we got the will and the desire, we will achieve what we need to do in life. Wow. And so I go from that with the, identifying, to understanding it. And then the interpreting part is interpreting, as we spoke earlier, about, self-love, basically, and understanding yourself and the self-talk, of the negative self-talk that, that's in your brain. I call mine, negative Nancy. That's mine.
Right.
That's mine. So that, that self-talk, that inner critic inside will constantly tell you, you can't do this, because, because when it happens, all this negativity usually happens at such a young age, and it just goes with us through life. But we work on that, and we work on goal setting, and then we also work on, what was economic and entrepreneurship as the part of it, which is absolutely amazing that we work on, because what a lot of life literacy, what we should be showing in school, in high school especially, we actually should start it in middle school, is financials. We should be showing them how to balance a checkbook. We should show them how to project their monthly and yearly and 5-year financial plans.
That's right.
Yeah, so we do all that. And then after they understand all this limiting beliefs, to the inner critic, to how to set their life goals, to the economical part, then we do the entrepreneurial part. I show them how to start a business from ground up.
Good.
So that's
these are all of the things that you walk them through in the literacy program that you have.
Yes, I walk them all through there. And right now we have some master trainers that I'm training to actually also do that through the Every Girl Wins Institute. But these are things that girls need to be taught. Right now, like I said, 95% of my students are women. If they were taught at a young age, they wouldn't be suffering in the way they did emotionally.
Right.
And mentally, mentally, suffering to do what they're doing now. They could all these years already have their dream set and be living that dream without being 40, 50, 60 years old and not knowing, and still thinking that limiting belief of possibly if you being pregnant at that age, or married at that age, or living in poverty at that age, if we teach them, they won't have to go through that mental, emotional, roller coaster that for myself did.
Wow. Okay. I love it. I love it. And so what I'm understanding you to say is that if you can get, as my grandmother would say, grab hold to them at a young age, to let them know that what they're experiencing is not, they're not out on an island by themselves,
But
but you can help them by training them and teaching them how to still love themselves regardless,
right.
and equip them with these tools, how to identify, understand, interpret, communicate, and collaborate. That will help them have a brighter future.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
And those are the steps that, it took me a long time to really realize that those were the steps that I had to take, to get myself out of what I did. I went back to school, made my GED. And then after I made my GED, went through the college courses. And then I built 4 businesses on top of that.
Right.
And one right now I've had for almost 26 years on the one. So it's just, it's just knowing that they can. And for me,
Right.
we didn't have any money when we started these business. It's like I said earlier, is if you have that burning desire inside of you and you find the right mentors,
that's right,
you'll get it done. You'll get it done.
That's really good. Let me also, wait a minute, let me also pull up that episode. So you guys, you should see this episode here. It's an interview that I did with Dr. Christine Kasich, overcoming domestic abuse. And she shares some very good insight in that and goes into deep detail about the domestic abuse that she encountered, where she was literally fighting for her life.
Yes.
So go check that interview out today, and make sure you like and subscribe as well, and share any comments that you have on any of the episodes. How do you feel that your story, Christine, helped to equip you with what you need to be able to teach these young people today? Because sometimes a lot of people are teaching from book knowledge and they have personally experienced it, but in your case, you've experienced some stuff. How does that prepare you for what you're doing today?
Yes. And, and I tell, my mentor, I tell him all the time, I said, you know what, God trained me for this. And I say God trained me for this because I used to see myself as a victim, but I now see myself victorious. And the reason I see myself victorious, and every time I see that, I've got chills on me. I see myself victorious because when I look back now that I look and where I've been able to travel around the world internationally and speak to these young women and these young girls, I see the hope when I tell them my story and I tell them how they can get past it. I see the hope that they have. And that's why I know if God takes you from being 13 and pregnant, what I went through to create what I have now. I'm now a doctor and nobody told me I will be nobody. Taking that my whole entire life and sharing it with other girls is just, like I said, God trained me. I don't feel like a victim. And any girl, young lady, any girl, any woman, don't ever feel like a victim. Always look at it as being victorious. Like we were talking earlier about reset. You just have to reset yourself. You have to sometimes take yourself back, look at it, and just, what is it that I need to do to be able to go around that door to achieve what I need to achieve.
Well, see, the thing is, Dr. Christine, the thing that young people that are in some of these situations, that's why I brought you on today. They don't have people that are inspiring them and encouraging. They have some people that are abusing them, taking advantage of them, using them at their own pleasures, at inappropriate ages, and being a predator or a pedophile. So how do you encourage young girls that, because it's like what you're saying, I agree with and I embrace because that's how I think. But then I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of young girls that are like, I haven't even told anybody that I'm in this situation, that my step person, whether it's a stepfather or uncle, or it could be, a female doing it to, doing things to a male, whatever. It's like they're in silent agony. What kind of advice would you give for those kind of situations?
what I would say, and the reason I'm saying this is back in 2000, I was actually the managing director of Eden Women Network when this all came out. No one knew that my stepfather had molested me started molesting me at the age of 7 until the age of 10. And so that didn't come out, and how that came out, and that's a long story itself, how that came out. But
Right.
once that came out, and once that was told, I can tell you how much of a relief that felt, how much a relief that felt off my shoulder, that other people knew about it and they didn't judge me. And the thing is, they didn't judge me because there was some that said, I've been through that.
Mm.
I've been through that, and what I'm saying to them is reach out to the person that you trust. It may not be your mother, it may not be your father that you're trusted to tell that, it may not be your grandparents, it may not be a teacher, it may even be your friends' parents that you tell, but tell someone that you trust. And once you do, I promise you that there will be such a relief out of your soul that it just feels like, all these heavy bricks have just been taken off, and there are people there, and there are going to be people still out there judging you. It's still people, and there's still people that judge me, but there's great people like myself and great people like Kim and others that will not judge you, that will be your mentor and will get you the help that you need.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because I really want parents that are watching, and they may share this with their teenage family, friends, and people that they like here, just take a look at this. I want them to walk away with some steps on how they can just get a better outcome, a better future than where they might be, because the circumstances are real. And so where they're currently situated, it's not like, oh girl, just get over, you'll be okay, don't think about the past. Oh, no. This person or these children or these young people, teenagers, whoever, are dealing with this stuff on a day-to-day basis, and no head from tail. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel here? And this is good advice.
Okay. Yes. And the one thing too is it took me a long time, even though I was doing all this and I knew who I was, I knew what I had accomplished. But the thing was, until 2016, it took me a while to realize who Christine was.
Wow.
I'd always been a wife. I'd always been a mom. I'd always been something to somebody else since I was 14. But I never knew who Christine was. But when I went and took a program, kind of what I have, that had did. I mean, I found out who Christine was. I really like her.
You said you like her?
I like her.
Yeah, I like Kim too. It's like, hi, Kim. Nice to meet you. That's so funny. That's so funny, because it's like you have to kind of reintroduce yourself to yourself, and it's like, hi, I'm Kim. Who are you?
It is so true. But it's these kids just like I said, just reach out. Absolutely. And even like I said, I was 45 years old when it came out about my stepfather. You may be 45, you may be 50, you may be 60 right now, but you have that held in you right now that needs to come out. And when it comes out, I promise you, what a relief it's going to be, even at the age of 60. I promise you. Don't hold it in. Just find somebody that you trust to talk about.
And it's interesting when you say it came out, when things finally come out per se, and you feel that, whew, okay, everybody know what I've been dealing with or what I've been going through. I'm not crazy. You start really trying to figure out, okay, so where everybody may have thought this or that, now that it's out, in your case, it was, a molestation, you're able to say, now I can function from this phase on. Is that kind
I don't feel like I have that mask that I'm hiding. That how so many people put these masks on, they're hiding from certain things. I didn't feel like I had that mask on anymore. I wasn't hiding anything anymore. Everything was just out.
Well, it's interesting too, because like when you share, when anybody shares stuff about themselves, it's like, now that what you're sharing is going to impact somebody else too.
Yes.
So how do you deal with that for the young ladies that we're talking to today?
With dealing with, rephrase that again. Say it
Okay.
again.
So like say young ladies that would be watching and they're
Mhm.
like, I want to say something, but then when I say something, it's going to change this person's entire outlook, life as well, even though they're the ones that done the harm to me,
Mhm.
but it's going to change
Oh,
how people view them too.
oh, that's okay, because that's their fault that they did that to you.
That's what I thought you said.
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's their fault that they did that to you. And and God will deal with them. In His own way. It's not up to you to deal with it. It's just up to you to tell the truth of what exactly happened.
Wow.
But yeah, it's okay. That's something that they can deal with on their own, because you've dealt with it all these years. That's something that they did to you. They get to deal with it on themselves. It's done and over with you. You've already.
Now, see, in this moment, and I'm telling you, this is like where people will be like, now that right there was like a sister moment where you like, that is up, that's between them and God. So, I mean, I know that you're a Caucasian over there. You had your eyebrow raised. You was like, look,
Look.
that's up to them and God. They did this all. You put into a whole different mode.
Oh,
Well, now
you'll make my makeup run over here.
you can come on as much as you want, Christine. Let me take a moment to just share with you today's sponsor of this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show is sponsored in part by Start My Trucking Company. I want to make sure that I take you guys there to learn more about today's sponsor, but let me pull this up. Let me say this before I take you there, because you'll have contact information on there as well. But today's episode is sponsored in part by startmytruckingcompany.com. Please let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show referred you if you should move forward with utilizing and learning more about how to start your own trucking company. It's a very lucrative industry, and the person that's in charge of owning this particular company has a turnkey system in place. So you can literally from A to Z have everything that you need to be able to start your own trucking business from scratch, regardless of whether you're a male or a female, whether you're new to business or you've been in business for many years. Start mytruckingcompany.com. If you'd like for me to connect you directly with the owner, you can reach out to me, Kim at thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll definitely connect you. I don't know where, I'll connect you with the owner. Okay, that one cut off. I'll connect you with the actual owner. So you can reach out to me, Kim at thebalancedoctor.tv, and I'll connect you directly with the owner. Let me take a moment and show you their website as well. And I thank you so much, Start My Trucking Company, for being today's sponsor of the Kim Jacobs Show. Let's see. There we go. StartMyTruckingCompany.com is moving in the box, and the information here is 214-699-5009 is the contact number. You can also email info@startmytruckingcompany.com. Please let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show referred you, and you can click here on the website to learn more about the different business plans, about their organization, and international trucking consultants, how everything comes together. There's a specific message here as well from the founder and CEO, and he has over 30 years of experience in the trucking industry and has chosen to be a sponsor for the Kim Jacobs Show. So thank you all, and thank you, Start My Trucking Company, for being today's sponsor. If you would like to sponsor an episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, which we do have sponsorship available, then go ahead, because guess what? I have multiple slots for advertising throughout each episode. So you could easily be doing that. The packages start as low as 50, go up to about 800. So you can definitely customize a package beginning today. All right.
I love that. My core business is a truck repair company.
I know.
Interesting. They may be some a referral kind of thing, maybe a partnership going on there.
Yes, and you would be a good truck business owner too, because I mean, because you already know the industry in the world.
Yeah, we know the industry.
Yeah, we'll talk at the after party.
Oh, after party, yes.
And everybody, if you don't know what the after party is, shame on you. You should be a Patreon member. Right? We've already talked about that. Go be a Patreon member at patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. And that gives you exclusive content to after party content with people like Dr. Christine. Let's see. Let's go to my studio audience. God bless you, ladies of purpose. Thank you for giving others this information. They certainly need it.
Okay, DJ Mike J, love you. He's from Kansas City, and you know him from the Create Your Best Life. He was the DJ there.
Oh my gosh. I want to show Michael Freeland. I did not figure out how to get in touch with you, and I didn't.
It's DJ Mike J. I mean, it's not about the music. It's about the experience. And it is.
His story was so awesome.
Yes, he has an amazing story too.
I was in tears. I said, "Oh my gosh!" I'm so excited about.
If you interview men, he will be a great interviewee for you.
Oh yes, I interview plenty of men.
He'd be great. Yes.
My mom is on. Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
Make sure you guys share this broadcast with your friends, your coworkers. Go ahead. You have lots of people that follow you already as well. So make it a great experience for them and give them real relevant and relatable information that I, as the Balanced Doctor, am providing to you guys with great guests like Dr. Christine Kasich. I love your transparency. Finding yourself is important to the journey to help others. I love it. There's a relief in being open to who you are. No blame on you. Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that, Dr. Christine Roberts Kozachuk. Yes. Absolutely. Let's make that connection. Absolutely. You don't understand when I say let's make the connection. I'm saying like you be on next week. You don't have a clue what that means.
Yeah, he has an amazing story. I mean, amazing story of triumph.
Yes. I love it. I love
incredible.
It. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm not leaving out any of my studio audience members. Caroline says sending virtual hugs to you ladies. Hugging back, Caroline. Let's see. And make sure people in London know about the Kim Jacobs Show. All right. Okay, so what other advice let's talk to a few minutes about the fact that you travel internationally. You have Every Girl Wins Institute. Talk to us about your journey going to Guyana, all of the things that you do, because I mean you do a lot. You're an author. Tell us about some things that you do.
Well, you know, of course, traveling has come to a halt, but you know, like I so miss traveling so much. But when I started, actually, the Every Girl Wins Institute, how it started was in Guyana, and that's how the name came about, and that's how it actually started. I was invited with 12 other delegates to come and speak to 13 different schools over a 4-day period. And so we went in there and spoke, and I'm sitting with the ambassador, Dr. Clyde Rivers, in the Holiday Inn, which is my mentor that coaches me through this. And that's how we came up with the Every Girl Wins Institute name, because I was telling him my story. He goes, "Your initiative is Every Girl Wins." And it's just stuck. And you know, I've traveled back to Guyana. I've had classes in Guyana, Kenya. I've traveled to Kenya a couple times, and I have a class in Kenya, Uganda. We actually went to Uganda and spoke there to a university. And you know, when I tell people, when people tell you that you'll be nobody and do nothing, well, let me tell you, you can be whatever you want. There is no way that this 13 and 14-year-old girl, when they told me that I would be nobody, would actually be sitting in a kingdom with the youngest king and his mother with other delegates to represent the United States and the girls around the world. And the other thing is, you know, what I have is called the International Every Girl Wins Day. And International Every Girl Wins Day is a day on March the 13th, and I tell people that's my granddaughter's birthday. That's the reason I have this proclaimed day. It's a proclaimed day. And this year, we on March 13th, we celebrated in 6 countries. So what I want to do is I want to double that for 2021 and have it in 12 countries to be celebrated. And on that day, what we do with International Every Girl Wednesday, we stand for the females of the world, for education, for equity, and just standing for them. And how we celebrate that is through lectures and through awards that we have, award ceremonies, and just sending letters of love to the females in our lives, and telling them how much we love each other, and just that encouragement. So we stand with them on that day to let every female know that they are a winner. So if you want to know more about that, contact Kim, and Kim can, connect with me so we can make this a bigger day than we did for 20, because this year was the first year my first year that we celebrated it. Wow. So next year we're even making it a huger event, because the Proclaim Day, I got approved with that back December of 2019. So wow. I didn't have much time to really get it together, but I don't think 6 countries is bad at all to have celebrated.
Girl, bye. That's awesome.
So it's like,
we can just get Charlotte talk about countries. I'm like, people can't even get their city united.
So I am just so excited about that day. I mean, it's just we get to stand for it, and it's amazing. I mean, we get to talk. We get to talk about that day.
I'm so excited. I want to stand with you on that day as well. Yes. In any way that you would have me, and also be able to share it with every woman, girl around the world, so that we can get, all 12, the 12 countries that you want represented there.
Absolutely. And right now, the places to be determined for the award ceremony, because we still don't know what's going on with this COVID. So it may be virtual, it may be, just a small handful of people, that I have for the awards and for the lectures and everything like that. I'm not sure, but, I'm just playing this by ear. But I know even virtually, it'd be huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
I love it. How can people stay connected with you, Dr. Kozachuk?
They can go to my website at everygirlwins.com, and that has my email on there. It has the telephone number how they can connect, but they can go to the website and they can connect with me in that way.
I'm typing it with Christine.
Yes. And one of the things that they'll also see, Kim, is the Plant a Garden project, and that Plant a Garden project is part of the economical and the entrepreneur part of our program with Every Girl Wins.
Okay.
And how that came about was actually when the COVID started. And what we've seen.
Let me know if you want me to go to your website.
Okay. That's okay. Or they can. That if you like to, you can, but with a plan, you can do that. Let's do that.
Okay, everygirlwins.com is the website, and let me see if I can.
Yeah, and we'll go to the Plant a Garden project, and it'll show you some of the pictures that we have already for the Plant a Garden project, and it started in Kenya, Africa.
Let me go here right quick, because then people can see what you're talking about. Yeah. There you go. Okay, people can still see you, Christine. So I can, right now we have the phone number and the email. And for those that are listening to the audio podcast, it's info@everygirlwins.com. Info@everygirlwins.com. And then the phone number is 980-349-6424. If you're interested in learning more about Every Girl Wins Institute, you can contact Dr. Christine Kozachuk there. Now, where do I go? Oh, Plant.
Plant a Garden.
Okay.
Yeah. And that shows you, how this is going to help. And this came with the COVID. And what we're doing is showing these women how to plant gardens, because if they help them plant a garden, then it's going to help them, with nutrients, how to feed, how to do an entrepreneurship. They can sell these products at their local farmers, local areas, to make money for them to feed, because with the COVID, what's happening, and it's still happening, is the hunger that these women, these young girls and these women, they're more scared of starvation, because they're more dying of starvation than they are the COVID.
Mm.
So
Wow.
we can show them how to plant the garden, how to keep the garden. This will have them, they will be very self-sufficient, and
Wow.
not putting food on their table, but make extra income for whatever else that they need.
Wow, I love this, Christine.
Mhm,
And so you say, please help sponsor a young lady for only $85, and this will give
mhm,
her the tools and seeds she needs to begin her success of being self-sufficient. And
mhm.
this is Every Girl Wins Plant a Garden project.
Yeah.
And the PayPal, you can either donate through PayPal, which is right on the website where you can click
Mhm.
the donate button, or $ Every Girl Wins. And
Yeah.
that's the Cash App, Every Girl Wins.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. This is, I mean, it's just amazing project, for these women and these girls. I had just done a summit, I think back last month. We done a
Mhm.
summit on the impact of the girl child during this epidemic. And one of the things with the life literacy that we talked about is the education also, because many of these girls, especially in these countries, the developing countries and third world countries, if they're not going to school and school has stopped, majority of these girls are not going back to school, because they have to help their parents
Right.
feed the family. If they're not helping the parents, then what also is happening with these girls is there are also these childhood marriages. These
Mm.
child marriages, they're being sold or given to these men as a child, because the families can't afford to take care of them.
Oh,
So that's one of those are a couple of things, and then we have the hunger on top of that. But that's one of the things that I talked about last month in our summit, about the education of the girl child through this, what's going on. But you just, as a nation, as a world, we just have to help. I know we can't help them all, but our little bit of serving to anyone is
that's
what we need.
wow. Wow. I mean, this has been very thought-provoking discussion already today. You've dropped so much knowledge and information.
Mhm.
Every Girl Wins, and make sure you all stay connected with Dr. Kozachuk. She is able to, you can reach out to her directly through her website, and she personally will communicate with you or
Mhm.
someone from her team. Michael Freeland says, Dr. Christine, your global initiative is one of a kind. You are truly flying beyond the clouds, and to think all that's in store. I'm proud to share your journey in any way, my friend. If you haven't connected with her, you owe it to yourself. That's a
Um,
testimony from from Michael Freeland.
yeah, and see, I've traveled with him too. We traveled together in Uganda. He and I,
Oh, wow.
yes, he and I traveled together in Uganda, and he told his story there, which is very powerful.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. This
So I
story is
traveled.
very, very powerful as
Yes,
well.
yes, yes.
So, what are any last tips that you'd like to share with people that you say, I really didn't want to get off this interview today without sharing this regarding the young girl?
Wow. I didn't want to get off this without sharing about the summit, about the hunger with the girls and the women. And, just, if you find in your heart to help, you know, it goes to a great cause. And I promise you one thing, that the one thing, when I went to Guyana, my first international trip of speaking, and being an American, you don't realize of other countries, of developing countries and third world countries, of how much, when someone like myself comes in and gives them hope, you can see the hope in their eyes, but the hope in their eyes is only hope. But it's people like us that can make it a reality for them.
Mm. And this is
And
a young lady. Where would they be helping these young ladies? What areas? Is this Guyana or?
I have Guyana, I have Kenya, Uganda, and those are the three right now that we will be helping through that, these
Plant
developing countries.
their own. garden.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is how you can donate. If you're able to donate $85, and I see commercials all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're very compelling commercials,
Yes.
and I immediately want to go and start, donating and contributing. But then sometimes I'm leery because I'm like, I don't know them people,
Yeah.
at all, and I'm just skeptical that way.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I know you. And
Mm-hmm.
so I can say that Dr. Christine Kasich, she literally does, her and the team go to Guyana, they go to Uganda, they go to Kenya, they go to these places, take
Mm-hmm.
pictures, documented evidence to
Yes.
share what they're doing. And yes, to other people, they don't know you necessarily. Some people that I maybe even telling this to don't know you personally.
Right.
I'm excited about endorsing and saying, definitely every girl wins is going to
Mm-hmm.
do what they say they're going to do with the
Mm-hmm.
$85 per young lady. That's
Mm-hmm.
going to that young lady get their own garden started so that they
Yes.
cultivate the land and be able to have proper food for their families. So $85 to every girl wins. I say hashtag, but it's $ every girl wins. Or you can go right to everygirlwins.com and donate right there on the website where it says donate now.
Right. Yes.
Excellent. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on the Kim Jacobs show today. And you are a blessing because I reached out to you. I was like, oh, my one guest. But anyway, and you just immediately were like, girl, bye, I got you. So thank you.
And I have other people too for you. If you ever need it.
Please, I'm going to send you that calendar link and just go ahead and fill them all in and put Michael in too. Come on, rock and roll.
I'll put Michael in, I'll put Carolyn in. There's all kinds I'll put in there for you.
Okay, I appreciate it. And you know what? My goal here on the Kim Jacobs Show is to provide you guys with some real relevant and relatable content that can help us during all aspects of our lives, from cradle to grave. We are all dealing with so many things from a balanced perspective and trying to manage this thing called life. But sometimes we need those tools to be able to say, what's at my fingertips to be able to do and manage this aspect of my life. So that's what I'm doing here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And I really hope that it's helpful to you. On tomorrow, I have my cousin, let me type this in, my cousin. And y'all, she is a trip, okay? My cousin, Ebony Hicks. And she is the host of Ebby Reviews on YouTube. And now I'm going to tell you in advance, if you don't like raw content, she keeps it real. And she's like, if you don't like it, get off the page. That's probably why she got more followers. But tomorrow she's going to be coming on to the Kim Jacobs Show and doing a makeover session.
Okay.
And she does like unboxing and she does makeup where her face looks like slayed to the side when she gets done. I don't know how she does that. And I'll be trying to do it. And so tomorrow you guys are going to see me from scratch.
Oh.
Me trying to do what this girl's doing on the Kim Jacobs Show. If you're a female, have your face cleaned and ready to go and have a neutral earth tone palette, eyeshadow palette. She's going to be doing some neutral colors and we'll go on that journey together tomorrow. OMG. You saw me in raw form right before. So
yes, I did.
So people, everybody gonna be like, wait, what? Kim came on there like that? Oh yeah, regular. We're gonna have a good time. So that's tomorrow's episode. My cousin Ebony Hicks, Ebby Reviews, will be on.
I'm looking forward to that.
The Kim Jacobs Show. Tuesday. All right. And then I have another great guest lined up on Wednesday. His name is Cassidy, and he's going to be talking about teamwork and team building and how he started a youth program. It's some good stuff he's going to be sharing. So I have a lot of guests lined up for you guys this week. And Freestyle Friday. Don't wait until Thursday night at 11:59 to start. Make sure you tell me some of the topics y'all want to talk about now. Okay, so we can get ready for Freestyle Friday. All right, make sure you go over to Quest Church prayer line 978-990-5000 every day. Pastor Jacobs is praying for people that are impacted with COVID-19. There is still a church praying for you and for your situations. COVID has not gone away, so prayer is needed. And I know that there are other churches, many around the country, that are praying, but this is just one that you can stop in and hear 30 minutes of prayer. 322-083-POUND is the access code. That's 978-990-5000. Access code is 322-083-POUND. There you have it. Any last comment, Christine?
Every girl wins.
Every girl
wins. Hashtag every girl wins.
Hashtag that, everybody. Every girl wins. Every girl wins. Hashtag. I don't see those hashtags. Oh, Caroline, I love your show. Love your show. You two ladies rock through and through. Woo-hoo. Glad that you stopped in today. Share this broadcast and remember that every girl wins.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m.